We saw the code interpreter, a plugin developed directly by the OpenAI team. Now we'll have a look at a third-party plugin. For this, we first have to enable the plugins. In case you haven't done this yet, you can go to this user or account menu down here once again, open the settings, and there switch to our beta features. Here, the plugins should be enabled now. With that in place, you can open a new chat once again, hover over the GPT-4 button up here, and now switch to plugins, this option. We see that we don't have any plugins enabled at the moment, so we can select this option now and go to the plugin store. In the store, we see now the newest plugins added to ChatGPT. We find the most popular plugins, and we can find all plugins that we can use in ChatGPT at the moment. As said, I want to show you one example in this lecture. For this, we go to most popular, and there we install the Expedia plugin by clicking onto this install button. This takes a few moments. If you no longer want to use a plugin, you can also uninstall it in here. But we want to use it, so we close this store now and can find the plugin now here in this plugin menu. If we select this, we can find the currently installed and selected plugin. So we could also enable this plugin if we want to, but I want to enable it. And let's now see if this plugin can find a flight for us. I live in Munich and I want to fly to Lisbon on July 11th, 2023. I want to stay for 7 days. The flight should be a direct flight and I want to arrive in the afternoon or later. The flight back should be in the morning. So with this information, ChatGPT or the Expedia app hopefully can come up with 2 fitting flights. Now let's see. So ChatGPT informs us about what it understood from our request, and it says that it can't filter for a specific arrival or departure time. That's unfortunate, but it is what it is. But the direct flight should be clear and also where we want to go and when we want to go there. Okay, this is a bit confusing. It found multiple airports, and I can actually confirm that this here is the correct airport. The second airport here is on the Azores, which belong to Portugal as far as I know, but this airport is obviously not located in Lisbon. Let's tell ChatGPT that we want to go to Lisbon and to this specific airport. So I want to fly to the Lisbon airport. Now all things should be clear, so let's see if we can finally come up with 2 or more flights. We'll see. Okay, this sounds good. ChatGPT used Expedia successfully now, and we can also have a look at the specific request and response that was sent. But let's now see what ChatGPT makes out of it. The generation of the answer is a bit slow still, I must say. Hopefully this will improve in the future too, but always keep in mind this is still early access. But this looks pretty good already. A few moments. I get different options. I get the airline, I get the flight number, I get the departure time and the arrival time, and also a price per ticket. And can find the plug. And this sounds pretty nice, so we can also continue with the hotel we want to stay at in Lisbon after finding the flights. We won't do that here, we'll just focus onto the flights, this plugin. But what we see is that at least the flight to Lisbon worked quite well. And if we once again check out how the actual information research worked, you can see that the plugin basically gets the information out of my prompt. So it found that the origin should be Munich, that I want to go to Lisbon, and also the departure time, and also that it should be a direct flight. So this is all information retrieved from my prompt that is then sent to the Expedia API in the background. So the application programming interface, we'll dive into these later in the course, forms. But the core idea is that the plugin, or ChatGPT here, extracts the information, sends this request, gets back a response from this Expedia API with the different flights that are available, and then translates this information into nicely formatted output. To continue this once more, let's say I take flight 1. What about the flight back to Munich? Because this flight is still missing. And this actually worked quite well, ChatGPT. We once again get 3 different flight options. ChatGPT also remembered that I want to stay for 7 days, so July 18th is the correct date. And although it can't filter for the departure time, I would actually also get a flight back early in the morning as intended in my first prompt. It's good. You can't book the flights directly in ChatGPT though. But what you can do is you can select a flight, for example, this Lufthansa flight here. So this 7:25 p.m. flight. Let's check if this works. So we are then redirected to the Expedia page. And there we can actually find this flight down here. This is also with the price, $213. So this was all retrieved correctly from ChatGPT, or better said, from the Expedia plugin. So you could now book the flights on the Expedia page, for example, and then continue to search for a nice hotel in Lisbon. And then you could define what type of hotel you are looking for here in ChatGPT. And then you would again get a list of the different hotels that match your criteria. For the booking, you would still have to go to Expedia though. So this is one example how such plugins work. As mentioned multiple times, these are in early access now, so a very early feature. This will probably improve in the next months, and also more plugins will be available. But I hope that with this example, you got a first idea of how plugins can bring ChatGPT to the next level.